The simple interest on a saving by depositing 2,625 in your account, you obtain an interest payment of 375 at the end of the year. Found the mathematical problem model that gives the interest for the deposit at the end of 1 year in terms of the amount deposited. Deposit. You want me to do B or just stay on one?
Yeah, let's
A.
do number one
Read
only.
both of them.
Let's do just number one first.
Okay.
Thank you. So, so that we don't forget anything. So now it says the simple interest on a savings account is directly proportional to the amount deposited. So that's the basic thing you start with. So solution, then you have to write your mathematical statement. So the solution is that the simple interest is directly proportional to the amount deposited P. That's where you start. And then you have to also remove the sign of proportionality by introducing the constant. So, which means I is equal to KP. So this is your number one formula. And it says that by depositing 2,625 in your account, you obtained an interest payment of 375. So it means initial deposit P is equal to 2625, and then the interest is 375. All these are in dollar. So then all you do is you make those substitution into your equation. So that should give you actually 375 equal to K, and then multiply by the principal, which is 2625. Okay, so how do we solve for K? Quickly, how do we solve for K?
Cross multiply.
Not really. We're solving for K.
Oh, sorry, divide 2625 on both sides.
Divide both sides by 2625. So that's what I'm going to do now. Divide by 2625. Pull out your calculator. 2625. So what does that give you? This side definitely crosses out. What does that give you? So K, what is K now?
0.14.
What?
0.14.
0.14 is K. So now, here's the main thing. The statement says, determine the mathematical model. Yes, find a mathematical model that gives the interest for the deposit. So now, some of you came to this point, but you did not write the mathematical model. This is just the constant that you got. So the real mathematical model would be that you plug in this value back into this equation. You see, so the real mathematical model would be I equal to 0.14 multiplied by P. This is the mathematical model.
Mr. Okegu?
Yes.
On number one, I found out that 0.14, it's a long decimal, and I found out it's decimal form. It's 1/7. If we put that, would it?
That's also correct. That's also correct. So it can be I equal to 1/7 multiplied by P. That's also correct. So this formula, why is it called a mathematical model? This is also correct. It is called a mathematical model because this is what the bank will code in their system. The bank will code this in their system, and then they will go to sleep. Anybody who makes a deposit, this formula will calculate what the interest is going to be. Anybody who makes a deposit, this formula will calculate what the interest is going to be. That's how it is done for millions and millions and millions of people. All they need to do initially is to create the policy of what the interest is going to be. And then from there, they will solve it out. And from after solving out the mathematics, then they will use it to program into their system. So that's 1A. Now let's go to 1B. Somebody else read 1B. I need volunteer. Please read out loudly. I need volunteer.
I can read.
Yeah, please go.
Force, or F, is directly proportional to distance d and inversely proportional to the third power of height h, where F is equal to 4,158 when d is 11 and h is 3. Determine the mathematical model that represents this statement.
Okay, first of all, from this statement, you can see that, they have what is it called, a combined variation. They have a combined variation. That's what they have. They have a combined variation. So hold on a second. So they have a combined variation. So they said this is 1B. So they said that force is directly proportional to D. And at the same time, force is inversely proportional to what? The height, the third power of height, h cubed. So these are the two proportions. So all you need to do is to combine these two. Once you combine these two, you are going to have that force is equal to K multiplied by D over h cubed. So this is your formula. And then consider the variables that are given. It says when F is equal to 4158, D is equal to 11, and H is equal to 3. So at this stage, what you need to do will be to plug in all these numbers, plug in these numbers back to the equation. So in order to do that, you just write your 4158 is equal to K is what you want to determine. Multiply by D is given 11. Then divide by 3, is it 3 cubed? 3 cubed. So at this point you have a choice. You can either simplify this, or you do cross multiply. But I prefer to do cross multiply. The reason why I prefer to do that, so that you know that it is a workable method. So when you do cross multiply, you are going to have 4158 multiplied by 3 cubed. 3 cubed is what? Quickly. 3 cubed
27.
Yes, 27 equal to K multiplied by 11. So what's next at this stage? You're solving for K.
Multiply 4158 by 27.
And then do what again?
Then divide both sides by 11.
Okay, thank you. So you might as well just divide both sides by 11 at the same time. So just divide by 11, and then you divide by 11, and this crosses out 11. So you can now use your calculator and punch in the number. So use your calculator, punch in the number 4158 multiplied by 27 divided by 11. So K is going to give us, quickly, let me know.
10,206.
10 to 206
Mm-hmm.
is K. Now, back to the question. The question says, determine the mathematical model. So you just got a K. So the mathematical model would be substitute this value back to this equation. And so that should be F equal to 10,206 multiplied by D divided by H cubed. And this is your final answer. Once again, this is what the scientist that is working on this will input, will code into their system. You see, this is what the scientists, the physicists, whoever that is solving this type of problem will code into their system. And then the more as they collect data to get the force and collect the height and collect the distance, they will just enter the number and press enter, and then it will be producing the result. Okay.